In 1989, Japan was about to take over the world. Its economy had exploded so fast and so far that the land beneath the Imperial Palace in Tokyo was supposedly worth more than the entire state of California. Japanese companies were buying up Hollywood studios and New York landmarks. American bookshelves filled with titles like Japan as #1. And serious people predicted that within a decade, Japan would overtake the United States as the largest economy on Earth. And then, almost overnight, it stopped. The stock market collapsed, property values caved in, and a country that had spent 40 years racing toward the future suddenly froze in place. For 30 years, no war, no famine, no dramatic ending. Just an economy that stopped growing and never really started again. This is the story of how the greatest comeback in modern history turned into the longest economic standstill the developed world has ever seen. This is the economy of Japan. To understand how Japan got stuck, you first have to understand how high it climbed. In 1945, Japan lay in ruins, its cities burned, its industry destroyed, its empire gone. What followed was arguably the greatest economic transformation of the 20th century. Backed by close ties between government, banks, and giant industrial groups, Japan rebuilt at staggering speed. It poured everything into manufacturing and exports: cars, steel, ships, and electronics. Its companies didn't just compete with Western rivals, they beat them on quality and on price. Workers were offered jobs for life, and in return gave total loyalty. For nearly 4 decades, the economy grew and grew. By the 1980s, Japanese factories were the envy of the planet. Money flooded in, and much of it poured into 2 things: stocks and land. Prices climbed, then soared, then detached from reality entirely. The Nikkei stock index nearly tripled in just 4 years. Tokyo real estate became the most expensive on Earth. Everyone believed prices could only ever go up. It was the textbook definition of a bubble, and bubbles always burst. At the very end of 1989, the Nikkei hit an all-time high of nearly 39,000 points. It was the peak, and it would not be seen again for 34 years. Worried that the bubble had spun out of control, Japan's central bank slammed on the brakes, raising interest rates sharply. The effect was catastrophic. The stock market began to fall, and then it kept falling, losing more than half of its value. Land prices followed, collapsing across the country. But the real damage was hidden inside the banks. They had lent enormous sums against stocks and property that were now worth a fraction of their value. Suddenly, the financial system was buried under a mountain of bad debt. Rather than admit the losses, banks kept failing companies on life support, lending just enough to keep so-called zombie firms alive, but never enough for them to grow. Households, frightened, stopped spending and started saving. Companies stopped investing and focused on paying down debt. And so, quietly, the entire economy seized up. What came next earned its own grim name: the lost decade. Except 1 decade soon became 2, and 2 became 3. The defining symptom was something most economists rarely worry about: deflation. Prices, instead of slowly rising, began to slowly fall. That might sound wonderful, but for an economy, it is poison. If you know that televisions, cars, and houses will be cheaper next year, you wait. And when everyone waits, no one spends, businesses earn less, wages stagnate, and prices fall further still. Japan was trapped in the loop. To break it, the Bank of Japan did things no major economy had ever tried. It cut interest rates all the way to 0, and when that wasn't enough, It effectively invented modern money printing, creating new money to buy up government debt on a massive scale. The term for it was quantitative easing, and the rest of the world would later copy it. Yet growth barely flickered. Meanwhile, the government spent enormous sums on roads, bridges, and stimulus, trying to jolt the economy awake. The bill for all of it piled up into the largest national debt relative to the size of the economy of any major country on Earth. And underneath everything sat a slower, deeper problem that no interest rate could fix. Japan was getting old. Its population had stopped growing and was about to start shrinking. Demographics are the quiet force that shapes everything, and Japan is the country where the future arrived first. Decades of low birth rates and almost no immigration produced a society aging faster than any other in history. Today, nearly 1 in 3 Japanese citizens is over 65. Each year, there are fewer workers to power the economy, and more retirees depending on it. A shrinking, aging population spends less, takes fewer risks, and strains pensions and healthcare to their limits. It is, in many ways, the real story beneath the lost decades. So, where does that leave Japan today on the macrocosm national leaderboard? On size, this is still a giant, the 3rd or 4th largest economy in the world, home to globally dominant companies, 9 out of 10. On growth, 3 decades of near standstill speak for themselves, 3 out of 10. On stability, Japan is calm, orderly, and remarkably equal, though weighed down by that enormous debt, 7 out of 10. On industry, it remains a world leader in cars, robotics, and precision technology, 9 out of 10. And the wild card, demographics, the slow-moving crisis at the heart of it all, 2 out of 10. And yet, the story is not over. In 2024, the Nikkei finally smashed through its 1989 record after 34 long years. Wages are rising again, and a flicker of inflation has returned. Japan is not the unstoppable force the world once feared, but it is stable, wealthy, and quietly reinventing itself. The country that showed the world how to rise and then how to stand still may yet have one more chapter to write. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to Macrocosm, and we'll see you in the next